Hello, everybody, and welcome to the entertainment headquarters, and welcome to Into the Darkness. It's my segment on the entertainment headquarters dedicated to all things horror. And today I thought I'd switch things up and do a very special creature feature dedicated to alligators and crocodile thrillers, horrors, action movies, whatever you want to call them. And joining me to talk about these particular movies, I have a host of amazing guests and friends. We'll have my co-host, as always, Mr. DJ Anubis of the Metal Tavern Radio. We'll have Mr. Yep, what's up? We'll have Mr. Tony at the Dead.
Hi.
And finally, Mr. Anthony Jordan of Anthony Jordan's Movies and Gaming. Yes. So, one thing I know we all enjoy is we all like the odd creature feature. You know, we're kaiju fans, we like the big, bad kaiju movies. But it's always nice to kind of come back down to earth and see, like, natural, proper predator, instinct, natural creature features. Yeah, real live, badass killer creature features. So today's subject, like I said, it's all crocodiles and alligators. Mr. DJ Anubis, what's your opinion on this kind of genre of film, like alligators and crocodiles?
I enjoy it for the most part. A lot of it goes back to movies like Eaten Alive and stuff like that, especially during the 70s when you had stuff like Jaws, Tentacles, Orca. They were doing the whole monster stuff back then, and the 80s were no different. And now we're kind of seeing a resurgent, within the last 15 years of bringing more stuff like Crawl and Blackwater and Rogue, stuff like that. So we're seeing more of that come back now with the creature features and stuff like that. So for the most part, I enjoy it a lot. Sure.
Obviously, just like crocodiles, I think Sharks has always been the main one, which started thanks to Jaws. So I think Jaws is definitely on that started the creature feature genre. Since then, we've had Anaconda with the snakes. We've had a whole boatload of different ones, and obviously spiders. Mr. Tony the Dead, what's your opinion of these type of movies?
I like them, if they're done right. I mean, there's so many of them, and as long as the CGI could be okay as long as it's done right, but there's a lot of bad ones, especially on the Sci-Fi Channel. So you got to go in with a open mind and hope it is good enough to finish. I guess you could say.
Very true. Your opinion, Mr. Anthony Jordan?
Look, everyone, I like them if they're done right. I'm not expecting great. If you're not going to give me a fully great movie, at least give me a fun cast. But for the most part, yeah, I enjoy them.
Yeah. And yeah, like every genre, you have your good ones and you have your bad ones. So let's get cracking. And let's talk about the first one on my list that we all had the pleasure of watching. And this was probably, after the big boom of Jaws, and then you had Orca and all of that stuff. We were treated to the first Alligator movie. Which, Alligator, there we go. Yeah. So, Alligator, there's a picture of the so-called alligator, if it pops up. For some reason, it's not popping up.
In the corner of Anubis's.
Oh, yeah.
It's real small.
It's for the banner or logo.
Yeah, it's a postage
Oh.
stamp.
You're
It almost
mailing me
put it
off.
on your shelf.
Well, that's me being a dumb fuck.
Hey, so Anthony, your
Yes.
Blu-ray or
So
DVD,
that's a
does it have
great-
the reversible cover?
Yeah, I just because I have the slip cover, I just decided, you know what? Why not? I can.
Yeah, I
have the
love
best
that original cover. The original cover is awesome. It always gave me the creeps too when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's got it too as a figurine.
That was one of the
No,
reasons
that's awesome.
I made a point to pre-order this when they announced. Well, I got both of them, but when they announced Alligator and Alligator 2, I wanted to get it while they were still doing the slip cover, so I could
Yeah.
literally have the best of both worlds with it.
Yep.
So, well, let's talk a little bit about Alligator. What is it about that particular film that you think makes it stand out from the original Jaws? Like in all of those kind of movies.
Who are you asking first?
Oh, who wants to start? Anthony
Well,
Jordan.
I'll go first because I'm just gonna say I don't remember much of this movie.
Oh,
We watched it the other night. And I remember the ending, but I don't remember much of the rest. So I'm really not going to be much to add to this. But what I did see, what I remember, it was pretty cool. Like how it was, it's such a huge thing, and like a big alligator, and just like in the sewers in New York and stuff. Like you hear about that stuff all the time, and how it could be possible, or maybe has it been has it happened? Or is it just like a
It's
rumor?
actually the thing that I liked about it was it uses the urban legend that if you flush a creature down the toilet, it's going to come back in some weird way or live down there. And that's sort of what played off of that urban legend when they did the movie. But I had forgotten, like I kind of watched some of it before we jumped on. I'm like, I forgot just how good the animatronic was for the gator.
yes.
Like it was really, really good. So when I've seen other movies of this genre, like they're not quite as well done. This one did a pretty good job with the animatronics of it all.
Yeah. Very vicious.
Yeah.
Too, like, which is really nice.
Yeah, see, look at that. It's a good shot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the original Alligator, now that I've fucking corrected my mistake and put the pictures where they're meant to be. Alligator is a 1980 American independent horror film directed by Louis Teague and written by John Sayles. It stars Robert Forster, Robin Riker, and Michael V. Gazzo. It also includes an appearance by actress Sue Leon in her last screen role. Set in Chicago, the film follows a police officer and a reptile expert who track an enormous, ravenous, man-eating alligator flushed down the toilet years earlier that is attacking residents after escaping from the city sewers. So basically very much self-explanatory there when it comes to the plot and, the story of this movie. The great thing I liked about this is definitely felt like very much a 1980s movie. It looked, obviously it's set in the 80s, it had the vibe, it had the look, it had the feels, and then on top of that you had like the craziness of this mutated, like I wouldn't say mutated, but it's definitely larger than an alligator should be, and they kind of exaggerated the size deliberately to kind of give it more like that fearful, presence on screen. That's what I loved about it.
Was it just me, or does it have, even though it actually predates Jaws 3, but the whole thing with Henry Silva as the hunter and all that, hunting down the gator, remind me a lot of the in 3 when the Fitzroyce is the one that's supposed to hunt down the shark in the park. So, and he's so arrogant and everything.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of a little bit of the plot of Jaws 3 and Jaws 3, I'm sorry, it's just so bad. If they didn't use the 3D element and they used animatronics or whatever footage of sharks in the
Look,
wild,
Jaws 3 is still like a masterpiece compared to Jaws 4. So, I mean,
Yeah.
At least that's the kind of movie you can kind of laugh at how incompetent it is.
right.
So, so Tony, is this a film you own in your collection?
I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't remember if I bought this one or not. I know I picked it up at like when Best Buy had movies. I picked it up. I'm like, oh, it's here. I don't know if I should get it now. It's like, maybe not today. So I don't remember if I got this or not. It's in if it is, it's like over here in a tote. But
somebody time that man out.
Oh, I definitely don't have the second one though. I know.
Oh, it's funny because I think that's actually a decent point by Goji because we consider Die Hard a Christmas movie. Why can't we do Jaws 4?
When does it stop?
This sounds as weird as it is.
Are we covering the Golden Child? I want the knife.
Oh man,
I want the
show.
You were stuttering. Not stuttering. What's the word? Feedback. Not
You
feedback.
mean
You tell me.
glitching?
Right. Am I good? Am I good now?
You're good.
Am I good now?
You're the best.
Yeah. Since you were talking about Christmas movies, you could there's loads of movies you could consider a Christmas movie. Like I even sent I think it was Anubis, I sent a picture of Rambo when he's invading the police station. There's a Christmas tree on the counter.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's a Christmas movie.
Is it a Christmas movie?
But
or can you watch it around Christmas and just think, well, it is Christmas. You know, like a Christmas movie is Elf.
The criteria has to be just Christmas has to be more than just a backdrop.
Keep it cracking.
Yeah.
And you spelled Kraken right too, so that's good.
Jedi,
yes.
Not to get ahead of ourselves, but you should have watched the whole thing because the only good parts are when the Croc comes on. He left he left at that time before it.
The great thing about the first Alligator and when they're trying to hunt the alligator down. Yeah. The fucking ratings, Jesus. But when the great thing I love about the first one, it's got a really good steady pace with horror elements, great action element with the crocodile, and when the crocodile is actually in the city, or the alligator, sorry, like this scene. How fucking big is that alligator?
That's
big.
Cool. Apparently,
now,
bigger
I'm not being
you know how many fucking boots you can get out of that thing?
And the thing is, I guarantee you that scene would have been inspired by Gorosaurus coming out of the ground in Paris during Destroy All Monsters. Because there's a scene in that movie where the monsters are under control by the aliens. And the aliens basically send the monsters around the world to destroy it. And there's a scene where you've got the big foundation in Paris, and Gorosaurus is literally coming out of the ground. The question that's never answered: how the fuck did he get under the ground?
Well, it's from the sewer, so I think at the time,
No,
all the cops and them were making all that. Oh, yeah. I don't know about that one. Can't give you an answer on that one.
How are they hidden so well and nobody knows them until they're, like, how do you,
on top of them?
Yeah. Godzilla's just chilling out, literally, in like an iceberg or whatever that's called, glacier, something.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Yeah. So there's not really much more we can talk about apart from, the plot's great, the setting's great, the carnage is great, the animatronic great. For me, Alligator is still a classic. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could 100% still watch the first Alligator.
And all the jokes about Robert Forster's character with the thinning hair, that was actually from him because he was actually obviously going through it and he had a fairly good self-deprecating humor about it.
Well, he also, one of his last roles was in The Wolf of Snow Hollow, so it was kind of fun to go back and see.
That
him
actually
doing
makes sense.
Yeah.
About Baragon. But I'm glad Jedi Granville's arrived because let's get cracking because here we go.
Look at
I've done it again.
Yeah. Erupted from the bowels of the city in a lethal
The best
frenzy.
thing, yes, the best thing about this film is the fucking movie poster.
Pretty much.
I enjoyed the cast.
The cast, well, there's one of them, the lead cop who picks on the other cop and puts him in the toilet. He cracks me up. He is hilarious in this.
I love the
There's
interactions.
so many fucking actors in this that you would think this would be a great film, overall, right?
I love the interactions, like when his boss is getting on him. David, this is the last time. Oh yeah, well you tell me when it's the final last time, and then we'll negotiate. And he gets angry. He goes, you're cute when you're angry. Your wife's a very lucky woman. Get out of here.
Jeez.
Yeah. This movie was definitely a lot of humor to it, that's for sure.
The biggest frustration for me is it takes you like 2/3, nearly 3/3 of the movie to get to the last quarter of the film, and when the alligator finally shows up and wrecks through the city,
and they didn't even have the money for a full alligator.
They didn't?
Absolutely.
So they did or they didn't have money for it? Oh.
Yeah, for me, I was just going to say, for me, it's like what Anubis said, that had that many freaking actors, great talent on this film, that they all could have given decent roles to, given a different, a decent story. But it felt like they were just trying to fill screen time with all these names.
I mean, you even got fucking Kane Hodder in there. I mean, how do you fuck that up?
I do think, at the last minute, the budget was slashed in half.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the producers saw what was happening. They're like, I'm pulling out of this shit.
It makes me wonder if there was a studio interference or if there was something, where they went, shit, we don't actually know what the kind of fucking film we're making here. Yeah. Or we're making, a who's who of, the 80s, or we're actually into the 90s, or we're actually making a fucking, a creature feature film.
Maybe they're just the first one, I don't know how did the first one do, sale wise and ticket wise and that, because maybe they're like, well, the first one did good, or maybe they think, well, the first one was a good movie, let's do the sequel, and then, well, this is what we get.
I think the first one must have made money, must have done well, because they wouldn't have gone at a sequel otherwise. Even if it didn't do great at the box office, if it did great in rentals, in video sales, then that's where that's another sign that a movie's done reasonably well off the sales of rentals and sales on video.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This was 11 years later.
Mhm. And what when Alligator 2 came out, was there another creature feature coming out around the same time?
No,
'Cause
I
that's
think it
another
was.
thing.
I think the intent was just like a low budget, straight to video store movie.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if like a well-known director, or there's a big budget or a reasonably budget film
I
going
think
to,
part of it
you know, see,
was it still had like if I recall, there was still there was like a band playing. They were playing almost like 80s pop. So like, despite being in the 90s, it's like they were clinging on to the 80s as hard as they could.
Yeah.
You know, you got Dee Wallace in there, you got Richard Lynch, and you've got this like 80s synth pop shit going on. It's like, we don't want to leave the 80s, man. We gotta have this movie. And that's
There is
exactly
like a
what
little
they did.
fun fact for this movie in the scene with the wrestling match. If you listen carefully, you hear the crowd chanting Chavo. That's Chavo Guerrero Sr., who was hired to do the choreography for the wrestling shots in
wow.
the movie. And because he was hired to do the choreography, they just kind of, you know what, why don't you do one of the wrestling scenes yourself?
Nice.
That's mostly what this
Yeah,
movie
and
was, wrestling. I feel like the wrestling scene took forever to like stop.
Yeah, or the fact that they kept bringing the wrestling as on. I was expecting like a bigger like sequence with the alligator with the wrestlers.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting something where while they're wrestling in the ring, the alligator would have burst from the sewers at like, you know, the rings over like a sewer drain or something. And for the alligators, they just burst out through it and then burst through the ring and just fucking chew up the wrestlers or something. Just to, you know, give it that extra bit of crunch.
Yep.
But I'll be honest, if I hadn't stopped drinking, I would have probably finished a litre bottle of vodka just to get through that movie. Christ, it was a hard watch.
It was. I'm glad I was watching it with like, you know, everybody to make it more fun. Because I would have been like in my bed, like, oh my God.
I think
So,
even the professor was like making jokes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, if you look at the fucking cast, man, I mean, that's such a waste.
Yeah.
They had a $3 million budget. I bet you like 25 million went into that fucking cast alone.
Yeah. Like I just like, I think, was it you, Tony, that said, because I was like, yo, was that tired? I thought, well, if I'm gonna finish a film and I'm tired, it has to be worth me wait to stay up. And then I was like, I'm not finishing this. And then I did watch the rest of it, and you did say, oh, it gets better by the end. And I thought, really?
No.
He set you up.
No, admit it though. It does get better at the end because the rest of it is shit. The ending is the alligator, and as stupid as the movie is, I still think it was funny and fun at the same time. Like the way that's like the camera's going through the people and they're just like, and then that I felt bad for the monkey the most because that monkey was freaking the hell out, man. It's like, my God, and everybody's chasing around, and that was kind of cool. And then you see the alligator from the side, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like a sci-fi channel movie. So I kind of went watching it from that point on. I was like, all right, let's have some fun, at least with it. It's at least you're seeing an alligator now.
If you didn't enjoy this movie as a kid, you're probably not going to like it as an adult.
I never saw it as a kid, so yeah, I didn't like it.
I've seen it a lot as a kid, so I do have a fondness for it.
So will you say,
why do you have a fondness for this movie? This is terrible. This movie.
Again,
it's the worst I've ever seen in the creature feature.
Says the man who likes Irish.
I'm just mocking you. By the way, Kevin has something to tell you. What did you tell me last night when we were watching this?
I would rather watch Diary of the Dead over this piece of shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's better made than this. But who's saying they'd watch this over Diary of the Dead?
Him.
Me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
As much as I
Anyway.
dislike Diary of the Dead.
Okay.
Well.
Come on, Anthony. You let me down. Come on.
Don't let me
Damn it.
down.
Sleep
Anthony?
with one eye open.
Gripping your pillow tight.
In fairness, I'm still not going to give this movie a high score. And the one reason I still enjoy it, like I like the cast interactions.
No,
The
yeah.
cast is
I mean,
good.
it's a great cast. It's
Mhm.
like the best thing about it.
That's
Mhm,
one
mhm.
difference, I guess, between this movie and Diary. I did like
Mhm.
some of the cast compared to
And
that.
that actually supports his
Mhm.
position because the cast in Diary suck ass. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, well, like you say, like it was like what was he called? Sensei Red Spirit said, wasted opportunity of a movie.
Yeah.
It could have done way better. But
At least the
let's get
Gators
away
got
from
out
it.
for revenge.
Mhm. But
Yeah.
going back to the first one, I'm going to see what Anthony said. I had seen the first one a handful of times as a kid, and it was always a film I could go back to. It's like that scene I've just showed you.
Yeah.
This one, like the animatronics, the blood, it was gory. Imagine being like a little kid, 6, 7, seeing that. It is quite gruesome. But
Yeah.
also, I was fascinated with it. But obviously,
Yeah,
why I
so-
kind of watched something like that is because I was used to the kaiju stuff.
Let's
So,
talk. There's one shot in this one. Let's talk about real quick how terrifying it is when they're in the sewer and you just briefly see the flash of the gator behind them, and just how terrifying it is that something that big and deadly can be behind you and not even realize it.
right.
Yep.
But there's another film that we're going to look at that has a similar effect. That definitely, I think, could have been some of the shots in one of the films that's going to talk about. Could
Mhm.
definitely easily been inspired by some of the scenes in both Alligator and Alligator 2.
I know exactly which ones you're talking about. So.
Question: Alligator 2 or The Notebook? Which one would you like
Alligator
to watch
2
again?
all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And Neko's not here to
Sorry,
hear that.
Should someone? Maybe I should tell Walter I hacked his laptop, and every time he turns it on, it's going to play Alligator 2.
Dude, I'd rather watch paint
But
dry than watch The Notebook.
That was
is
funny
I
last
don't
night
do
though. We were
romantic
watching it,
films.
and then you're like, how much time is left in this? So we've only been in it for 36 minutes. We're like, oh my god.
Oh, you know that's bad when you have to try to struggle and you're only like, what? It's only been 15 minutes. What are you talking about?
I
The
hate
thing
that.
is, when you're watching it as well on Tubi, if you're watching a decent film, you don't mind when there's lots of the adverts. But when you're watching a film that's fucking dragging like piss water, and then in an advert comes on, and like, I just want to get through this fucking movie.
I will agree with that. Like the only way I will watch that one is like my Blu-ray. I will not put it in on Tubi or something and have to just be interrupted by the ads.
Did you know that
Mm-hmm.
if you let the movie go through and then you go back, the ads will be gone on Tubi?
Yeah, but then you have to
Really?
watch the movie twice.
No, I'm saying, like, say you're gonna watch it tomorrow, put it on at night and let it go through, and then in the next day you go to watch it. And
Well, the
it'll
one
be,
thing I noticed is when we were doing our watch parties, if I play a movie on Tubi on my browser, I have ad block. It doesn't play the ads. It just goes right through the movie.
same thing on here. Yeah, I have an ad block too.
I'm like, what?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, but on my TV they'll
well,
play the ads.
Yeah, until you can find a way to block it on TV, there's no way that's going to happen. You have to just deal with it. But
Yeah. It's nice.
yeah,
Well, I think it's time to talk about the first of the two best of the bunch, in my opinion. We're going to talk about Lake Placid, which is a fucking fun movie. Fun movie. Like, I know this is like an action horror comedy, and I love it as it is, but I could always imagine if they cut out some of the comedy and went just straight with it, this would have been a great horror, like Jaws,
Comedy is what
on
makes
that
it.
level. But I'm
Brendan
saying,
Gleeson and Oliver Platt, I did not go into that film think I'd be laughing so hard. Those two guys were awesome.
Those
The band
two
was great.
Those two guys are you and Tony.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, their banter, dude, I just could not stop laughing. I'm like, I saw this like a week in the theaters after I just saw Strangeland the week before, and like I fell in love with this movie like that. And you got Bridget Fonda, who I thought, very attractive chick. Meredith Salinger, I know Tony knows about her.
Yeah.
Mariska Hargitay, who's like the big thing of Law and Order SVU. I mean, she's got a huge career behind that. But oh my God, dude, I cannot stop laughing at those two, dude. I can't even imitate, because when Oliver Platt's like trying to put his like mask on, and he starts referencing, having Gleason, the sheriff, like choke on his chunk or something. I was like, I just can't stop laughing. This shit's just so goddamn funny.
Sheriff, when people say something, it tends not to register. So you're fat.
Yeah, he's bigger than him. It's just funny.
so if Tony and Anubis are, them two characters, I have a question. Which one is the one that gets hung up in the tree?
That's
You or
Probably
Anubis?
me, yeah.
Anubis has the power to time Tony out, so
that's his trap.
That's my trap, yeah. Oh
yeah,
but
like,
the cool thing about it was they both like really end up being friends at the end. He's like, "You happy now? You got to shoot your gun?" Yes,
it was overrated.
What's that?
He's
Yeah,
like,
overrated. Yeah.
And then he reluctantly, when they go, someone should ride to the hospital with them. Guess I'll go.
and he's like, if I let you down, you're not gonna come after me. You're not gonna punch me. And he gets up and he goes,
He's like hanging there upside down. He's like, "No, I'm not going to do it."
I don't want to look at
me
your face ever again.
Yeah.
Yes, but
You said you weren't going to hit him.
A little. Yeah, and I like the bit where he goes, "I am a brown belt in karate."
You're supposed to say go. You're supposed to say go.
Yeah, you hit him. I did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to act like he's all disappointed himself. Like, yeah, I know, I did.
So, Lake Placid is a 1999 American comedy horror film directed by Steve Miner and written by David A. Kelly. It is the first installment in the Lake Placid film series and stars Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, Brendan Gleeson, Oliver Platt, Betty White, Meredith Salinger.
Yeah, I forgot why too. Jesus Christ.
Meredith Salinger and Mariska. Well, here as well. Mariska Hargitay. In the
film, that was right when Law and Order was starting up too in 1999. Yeah. So she was just starting that up.
You didn't by chance lead him to the leg blindfolded. If I had a dick, this is where I would tell you to suck it.
I love that.
Yes.
Betty White just nailed it in this film.
I forgot. I thought she only cursed that one time, and then I didn't realize she said like, "Thank you, Officer Fuckbeat," or something. Like I'm like, oh my God, this is Betty White cursing. This is so weird.
And it's like so bizarre. Like she's in this, and it's like, but I think that when they knew the kind of the plot, where it was going, and how it was about this family that has a little alligator, a crocodile, brings it in. and you've got this little old lady that's basically reared them since they hatched
Yeah.
on the
And like
lake, and then I love the scene where they go to interview her, and she goes, "Where's your husband? Oh, I killed him."
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Well, I was looking at the quote. He's like, when he finds that toe, and he's like, "Is this the man that was killed?" And the sheriff's like, "He was taller."
Taller. Oh man.
Oh my god, I could quote this shit all day. It's so goddamn funny. Oh,
Like even though it's a horror comedy, when they did do the horror stuff was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of the scenes with the alligator, with the crocodile.
and it was tensive. Yeah, even when Platt's character has to get in the water, he's like, "I talk to dragons." He's like, "Oh, you're a different dragon. I don't want to be in here."
Even that, he's like, he won't hurt me. And then
Yeah.
he's like, he just turns around, he's just like right there. Oh, that to me is probably the most terrifying part of this. Like, again, you said earlier, like not knowing they could sneak up right on you and they're right
Mhm.
behind you. That's
You guys accepted
scary.
cash? Oh, he gave us checks.
He gives a check.
He does have like a little nice like straight acting moment after that scene when he's like all shaken up and talking to Bridget Fonda.
Mm-hmm. For me, I just think it's a real good movie. I know it's a comedy. I can't remember if I've seen this in the theaters or not, or if I just seen it when it came out on television. But I remember, yes, I knew it had the funny quote in the comedy character, but I actually generally was terrified of the crocodile, and I was really taken aback and shocked when the scene when they first actually see the full size of the crocodile when it kills the bear.
Yeah. Whoa.
I was
Or when it's
absolutely
on that
devastated.
flatbed at the end. It's on the flatbed.
Oh my god, that thing's like as big as a tractor trailer. That's insane. Like, I would
We
love
trapped
to
it
like
with our copter.
I would love to while they were filming that, like drive past it
Yeah.
or something and be like, oh my gosh, they're hauling a dinosaur. Like, that would be amazing.
And I'm like, are you sure you can't get out of that? Because that looks pretty easy for you to get out of.
Yeah.
I wonder though, because obviously the reason it's as big as it is because Betty White's been fucking feeding it cows and
Yeah,
probably helped
well, even at the end when you got the little baby, she's like, "Yeah, just nibble my toes." She's like throwing breadcrumbs. I'm like, they're gonna want more than breadcrumbs, honey.
But it makes me wonder though in real life if a crocodile or alligator, if it was bred and then it was, lived in captivity, if it actually could get to that size. Oh, I know.
I mean, they can get big.
I
They can get big. That's no brainer, man. Now that size, who knows? But they've been some big crocs before that swallowed humans whole. It's not pretty.
I think the biggest one on record was about 40 foot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In a great weight can get to about 50 foot long. I think the longest of the.
Well, no, the longest great white on record is like 23 feet. But Deep Blue, that's supposedly still out there, she's probably about 19 or 20. She's a big shark.
I looked it up.
Oh, that's the one that they thought was pregnant, wasn't it? Now swam past the cage.
Yeah,
He is huge.
Yes.
I looked it up. It could take like up to 15 years for a crocodile to get full size.
Yeah. Yeah, they can live a long time, man.
Yeah.
Oh, biggest.
And I do like that they tried to like somewhat pretend that it could be possible for a croc to swim up to Maine and do that, but with the winters, I don't think it would be able to survive. I mean, but then what do I know? Turtles can survive in the winter, so I'm sure crocs probably could too.
Yeah, at least they covered themselves with that, saying as long as their nostrils don't freeze.
Yeah. Well, I think the one dude, because the guy at the beginning, he swam up under, and I think that was like the nest. So like there's like this open area underneath all the brush where the nest was, and that's when he got taken from underneath. So
Oh yeah. Yeah, because in the beginning you think that's like a beaver, like I mean
yeah,
it is a beaver thing, but you think those are beaver like babies.
right.
And then you don't realize till the end. But like
Mhm.
that
That
the movie doesn't like it you see the guy getting bit, and you know you don't see the alligator or crocodile, and then pulls him up onto the boat and he's in half, and I was like, oh, I like forgot about a lot of this. I forgot about the grizzly bear, but I remembered the ending and Betty White stuff.
Well,
But
when he's pulling up the mic and he's like leaning over
oh,
and it just comes up and bites
Yeah.
his head off.
the part that made me jump, because I was sitting here, I had watching it, and they were behind me, you know, playing Fortnite and all that crap. And I'm watching like the part with the fish where they're all scared, and then the boat flips. I went, whoa, like that. I like was not expecting that at that moment. It actually made me jump. I was like, yeah, that was so scary. It was fun. It was a fun movie, man.
Yeah, yeah, it's a fun movie. I'm just reading
Yeah.
here. The
So
largest.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I had just looked up what the largest crocodile on record is. The largest crocodile ever recorded was Lolong, a saltwater crocodile that was 20.3 feet in long. He
So the
was
one they
low.
used in the film was 32. So that shows you how much bigger it was than the one that's the biggest on record.
So obviously they have exaggerated the size, but that's what Hollywood does. But it was, guess what? It made for a fun movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. And the big surprise at the end.
There's two.
There's
There's
two.
She didn't tell us about the other one because she was afraid we would blow its head off.
Blow it up.
Imagine if he had that gun early on, like loaded and ready, and they like earlier when they saw the croc for the first, like the bear came out, boom, movie's over.
I actually love the comedy from Fonda too, because she's so pristine, and she's like, I hope the glasses are clean, and he's like, are you gonna complain the entire time?
Another thing I like with the scene when before they shoot it and the other one's trapped in the helicopter, where they're telling him to shoot it, and you can like tell he's conflicted. He knows how dangerous it is, but he's like, the thing's tranquilized, it's trapped, this just isn't fair.
Yeah.
And he finally like gave in, but then when the other one showed up, he didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was saving his new friend. Pretty much.
Well, that was the thing. Hector,
had him by the leg.
Hector knew that it was like this historical moment that you have a croc that size in Maine, and so it's like, can't just blow it up.
Yeah.
Also, I knew once the second one turned up, I kind of knew what the ending was going to be. I knew there would be like, they would leave it open for a sequel, and I knew there would be like a baby. But then when I just find it hilarious where Betty White's just standing there, it's like, feeding the crocs. You always knew that there was going to be more. It's also, like any creature, they always leave it open, like with a baby or a second one hiding.
They did kind of reveal the nest earlier too.
Yeah.
As I said, but I thought you're made to kind of think they're beaver babies or something, because that beaver flew scared. That was like a jump scare where it flew. I say flew, but it's underwater. Swam out, and it's like, oh shit, it's a beaver, and then he gets taken. Can I say too that the beaver looked cute? I like the beaver.
Leave it to beaver.
Beavers are cute. The fact this is something new because of like issues with our waterways and all of that. They've actually now reintroduced beavers to the UK.
Did they?
They've been breeding them, because of our riverways, and they've introduced and the population's grown, and apparently it's really sorted like a lot of the waterways out in the UK because they basically, I think they became extinct.
Really?
And
Kinda.
so they've actually, I think they've actually brought them over from Europe or America and reintroduced them into the wild in the UK.
Oh.
I seen this funny picture. It was a otter that looks like he's thinking, and it said, "Do beavers actually know what they're doing, or do they see water traveling downstream and think absolutely not?"
Yes,
kinda-
very,
kinda
very.
cool.
So we all agree, like Lake Placid is just a fun movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's time to talk about the final movie. And I said at the beginning of Lake Placid, it would have been, imagine if they did that movie, but they did it straight with no comedy and made it a straight up creature feature. But we don't need to worry about it because the next film is exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Crawl. Now, I remember when this came out. I think it came out in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out when Godzilla King of the Monsters come out, and after the aftermath, or it either came out before or after. I don't
After.
quite remember. Yeah, I thought it was after. I remember I was still on a buzz. I was still on a high after the success, in my opinion, of Godzilla King of the Monsters, and I was still like in that mood for watching a good creature feature or go see something of that nature. And then this came out and it didn't really get talked about. There wasn't much buzz about it. There's literally, it just kind of hit the theaters, and the next thing I heard, it was a smash hit. It actually was. It was one of those slow burn silent successes which gained a lot of popularity and has gained quite a following. And it's because of the following that in 2024 it was announced that we're finally getting an actual sequel to it. So I'm very excited, and it's the same director of the first one that's back for the sequel. So because it's being directed by the director of the first one, I've got kind of high hopes for it.
Oh, yeah.
So
I just hope it doesn't
let's
get
talk
ridiculous.
a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Well, it can't get any worse than what the first one did. But that was really well made, in my opinion. So Crawl is a 2019 American natural horror film, directed by Alexander Aja, written by brothers Michael and Sean Razaman, and produced by Sam Raimi, which was a lovely surprise.
Yeah, I didn't know that when I was going to watch this.
Oh yeah, I think that adds to like how good this movie is. It stars Kia Scolorio and Barry Pepper as a daughter and father who along with their dog find themselves trapped in the crawl space of their home and preyed upon by alligators during a Category 5 hurricane. It cost between 13.5 to 50 million, and it made 91 million at the box office. So not bad for I guess a film that really wasn't promoted that well.
No, not bad at all.
So, thoughts, gentlemen, on Crawl. We'll start with Anthony Jordan.
Love this movie. Seen it in the theater, and funnily enough, like a few days after seeing this, I actually got alligator meat from the grocery store and ate some. But like for me now, one thing I will say, like the gators are no longer the scariest part of this movie. It's the storm. But I love the whole family drama aspect of this film. That's just happens to be centered around some killer alligators and great cast.
Yeah.
It's one thing I like about it as well. Not the setting's very creepy. Like we mentioned before, like this had to be inspired by Alligator. Like you see when they're crawling around the sewers, and then there's a light shines behind them, and the giant alligator's there. There's many scenes in this where I had a jump scare, especially in theaters, that I didn't see coming. If the alligator, she had a torch or whatever, and as she's turning, you just see the side of like what looks like something rising, and when she turns back, it's the actual alligator's jaw ready to snap. And I just thought, whoa, shit, I never seen that coming, which is the beauty of this movie. It has a great way with the jump scares.
Yeah. Especially in the beginning, we weren't expecting to see I wasn't expecting to see the, what was he, crocodile?
Alligator.
Were they alligators?
These are alligators.
I wasn't expecting to see it that soon. When it like jumped, like the first jump scare was like, whoa. And then later on, Walter called it. He said, someone coming crashing through the, was it Walter that said that, crashing through the window? And then later on, it crashed. I said, look what you did.
Like, I think somebody said when we were watching it, he was like, there's only 2 or 3 of them. I went, oh, keep watching.
Yeah.
Someone had commented, like, because when it had her bit, it should have ripped her arm off in that scene. But if you look carefully, it was actually clamped onto her shoulder.
Yeah. We don't want to, I don't want her to lose her arms.
Like, this is, yeah, this is one of my favorite scenes.
That was great. Oh yeah, that you like fucking tossed him to the other one. Jesus,
that was brilliant. And
see, Alligator 2 had the wrestlers, and this one, the alligators are the wrestlers.
That's true. One thing I love about this, and it came out in 20. I think the effects for this movie is really well good done. Like, yes, you can tell it's CGI, but compared to some films that come out, the CGI is really well done.
Yeah, I can
like I still
watch
think
it
this,
and like
I
could believe it.
I still think that looks good.
Yeah, that looks great.
And it's like, I think we're all on the edge of a seat hoping that the dog wouldn't get killed.
Oh, I told you.
I think
if that dog died, I wouldn't be here today.
What's your opinion, Anubis of Crawl?
You ready?
Uh-oh.
It sucks.
Well, I asked the question.
It sucks.
You don't
I
like
was
it?
bored to tears. I was bored to tears with this film. Really has nothing to do with the acting. Acting's fine. I think one of my problems is, and it's not really necessarily the movie's fault. Back in 2012, there was a movie called Bait, a shark movie that kind of dealt with a similar theme. Storm, shark gets into a supermarket, it's hunting people. So I kind of already seen this played out, so it really wasn't covering any new ground.
Was Bait, was
plus,
that not
a lot of
that
the
come out?
What's that?
So, sorry, I was going to just say, well, did Bait come out as Bait 3D? It was meant to be in 3D, I think.
Yeah, yep. I think they ended up releasing it as a non-3D too, I think. But yeah, so it's not really covering any new ground. I don't know. I thought I'd go in thinking, okay, because as you said, people were hyping it up a lot when it came out. So I'm thinking, okay, well, let's take a look and see what this is about. And I could not, for the life of me, get into it at all. I was bored.
Did you watch it with us, the whole thing?
I caught some of it, but then I think I caught the end, and then you guys started Alligator 2, and then I had to go watch a different movie for the show we did yesterday, or for tonight that we were watching it for.
When we watched, that was my first time watching it. So, and
last
night, commentary with the commentary going on, that's why I think it was fun. But if you had to watch it on your own, maybe.
if you watch any film and you treat it like Mystery Science Theater, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's a film that you really like. If we were to watch Clash of Titans and we have our commentary, we'd probably be having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even if we're busting on it, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I mean, I don't know. I just could not really get into it at all. Like it's not like it's bad. I mean, Sam Raimi is a great person, producer, director. I guess I've seen so many things like it that I just didn't find anything new in it for me.
No, but I'm quite surprised you didn't like it. But like you say, each their own. Everyone has an opinion. Everyone likes what they like. I personally love it. Put it this way: if I had to pick between watching that or fucking Diary of the Dead, but there was a three-way battle between Crawl, Diary of the Dead, or Alligator the Mutation, of course I'm going to pick fucking Crawl over them.
Well, yeah, so would I.
So would I.
It's not even the same fucking genre. Like it's
Alligator is. Alligator 2 is.
Where are the alligators in Diary of the Dead?
I've seen Diary of the Dead twice. I've only seen Crawl once. What does that tell you?
Well, it shows me you've got no fucking taste.
Ooh.
I think all the stress of the missing tarantula is he's still on edge. And
you think I have PTSD from the tarantula being out?
Would I'd be afraid of?
Maybe that's what was missing. This didn't need alligators. You just need fucking tarantulas that could swim. That'd be great.
Oh, that would be. Well, why don't you write a script? Let's work on it.
Right?
Tonight.
Well, how long?
I'll get Tony to star in it. He's gonna be my first victim.
Well, when we were watching it, actually there was a part when we were watching it where she goes to open the lid to get came, and there were spiders on there. And Daniel was like, "Oh, imagine if it had spiders," and the spiders started crawling all over himself.
Daniel, look away!
That's the last time he talked shit like that, right?
I said, "Well, Anubis left one of the cages open."
Yeah.
Well, put it this way: there was a good ending to the spider drama because this you found out one piece. And she's fine. Is she acting normal? Is she eating and everything?
Yeah, I think because he said she was starting to web up back there, and I think because she found it's like the stand that the TV sets on is like a electric fireplace. So in the back, it's kind of got these crevices and stuff. And she said, "Oh, there she is. She's just back in the corner, just chilling there." I'm like, "Oh yeah, she looks like she's trying to make a home back there."
Had she actually started webbing behind the telly, behind the television?
Yeah.
That is fucking
awesome. The thing is, I could have swore I looked back there before. I did not see her. I was like, I don't see her anywhere. But I don't know if she traveled from the CD case, and maybe came back. But she managed to go from this side of the room all the way to the other side without the cats finding her. That's pretty impressive.
That is, I'm going to say it. And don't forget, she's got 8 legs. She can run like fucking hell.
But she's so docile, man. Like, even when I was getting her out, she just was chill.
Can you actually handle it? Can you actually
laid back spiders? Oh, I could. Yeah, absolutely.
Can you actually? Yeah. Oh, so have you attempted to?
No, I could have done it last night for sure.
Well, she's
very chill.
If I ever make it to Washington, your area, I want her in my hand.
Yeah, you could hold her. You could probably hold Loki, the curly hair. They're both very chill.
If you're gonna handle one of them, make sure your hand is barely above the table, because it just takes a fall of a couple inches to rupture their abdomen, and they bleed to death because their blood doesn't.
Well, I got a futon right here, so I just put Kevin in the futon. Then because if she falls, she'll just fall in the futon. It's soft, so.
For a second there, I thought you named one of your spiders Kevin. It's like
due time. I'm only beginning.
Well, I have had a dog named after me from a patient's relative the other day, which was a nice surprise. Because
he's got one of Ghidorah's head named after him, so why not?
But this Kevin's the fucking cutest of them all. I'm sorry. Sorry. But before we do ratings and talk about things, I personally think Crawl's one of my favourite films now. I'm going to be honest, because I love me kaiju, I love me creature features. I just maybe after maybe 2 or 3 more watches, I'll get bored with it. But every time I've watched it, I never have. I've always found it to be a really fun film, and I'm really looking forward to see the second one. Be interesting to see if it's going to be a brand new story or if they'll bring any of the cast from the first one back. But I've got a funny feeling it'll be
Gators on a plane.
different. Well, I'm surprised. I'm so fucking surprised I haven't done that. I've done everything else on a plane except me.
Did they make a Crocnado?
Not yet.
Don't give them that idea.
They'll do it. Just watch.
So, what other, before we do ratings of all 4 films, what other films or movies involving alligators or crocs would you recommend? I would recommend Rogue. I think that's a fairly decent movie.
Blackwater. Blackwater is actually based off a true story.
I wanted to cover that for. I that's one of my picks that I haven't picked yet for our ghouls. But after watching,
I haven't.
Yeah, Blackwater, because I heard the story from Mr. Ballin on YouTube, and I was like, oh, that sounds cool, and it's like, oh, it's a movie, so I've always wanted to watch the movie, but I haven't seen it. But Rogue is good too.
I haven't seen Blackwater, but if you do that for ghouls, I'd like to join that one if I may.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. You have
that would be
Primeval.
Good.
Primeval, I think, is also based off a real one. Killer Crocodile, Crocodile Blood Surf. Of course, Lake Placid has some sequels.
I've seen.
I think I've only ever seen. I've seen the second one. I've seen the second
sequels. I don't think I've seen the sequels.
I've seen the first and the second one.
I've seen the second one and it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Have you seen Rogue, Tony?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm not sure if it's still on my channel, but I think I reviewed it years ago. But I remember liking that one.
So Crawl
has
a Rotten Tomatoes score of 75% from the audience and 84% for the critics. The Mutation, not surprisingly, 18% from the audience, 40% from the critics. The first Alligator, this is the thing that gets me. The first Alligator is 49% for the audience, but 87% from the critics. And then Lake Placid, and I can't understand why, 37% audience, 47% critics.
I don't think
that's
I really sometimes doubt the actual accuracy of Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But
sometimes they get it right, and sometimes they just get it totally fucking wrong.
What you said for Alligator 2, I kind of suspected the audience and critic would have been flip-flopped on that one.
Yeah, right. I mean, Crawl did very well, but I'm surprised Alligator, the first one, still has like almost 90% from critics. That's like, they usually hate those kind of films, you know?
Yeah.
Very true. Very true. So is there anyone in the chat who want to recommend any other movies for us? You can recommend them.
I've seen it and I remember liking it, but I don't remember. Like I said, it was like like when I first started doing my channel. So like a while ago. So I don't remember it, but thanks for reminding me. I won't watch it now. For the dog.
Yeah, we heard you the first time.
Yeah,
I mentioned that one. Yep.
Yeah.
Eaten
Alive. I mean, we said that earlier, but I guess that would be one. You got.
Yep.
I can't remember that one. Can't remember that one. Eaten Alive.
It's like a late 70s film.
Yeah, it's not bad.
No, it's all right. Yeah, it's different.
Well,
I'm blanking on these type of movies because I would have said Lake Placid or, something like that. But I'm really blanking on
Mhm.
this
Well, some
type
of the
of
other
movie.
ones are like Croc versus Anaconda, like that kind of shit. It's all like
Oh,
versus.
Yeah.
Now, if we were like extending it to just more realistic nature-based like creature features, I would say grizzly, but like I am struggling to think of like another gator or crocodile one.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
that
that's
would
why I
be
say
well.
Blackwater is kind of like your closest to like real life stuff, and then because the director that did that also did The Reef with the shark, which was really good.
Oh, cool.
What was that
Um,
shark movie where they were on a vacation house and like there was all these different types of sharks that came through? Like there was like hammerheads and all that kind of stuff, and they were like it was like a bunch of young kids like on a not a B&B, but like kind of like a nice house.
The Requiem, but I think that was only 2 people.
I don't know.
the Requiem.
That as what's her face? I think it was Alicia Silverstone was in that.
Oh no,
I did actually did a review on that one some time back.
What would you rather watch, a shark or a croc movie?
I generally like sharks more, but
Oh, Shark Night. Jake said it.
yeah, there's
Shark
plenty of
Night.
shark films.
Yeah, kind of get sick of shark films because they're like so. But so it's nice to something different for a change.
Yeah,
Right.
it's when they do the over the top ones, like the 900 shark movies and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That's yeah, that'll be coming next.
And let this sink in. There are more Sharknadoes movies than there are Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah, right. How depressing.
That is just absolute utter bullshit.
Yeah, Deep Blue Sea is
But-
pretty good. That's a good film.
Mhm.
Oh, do not watch Under Paris. Me and Anubis fell asleep.
Yeah, that was bad. Bad movie.
Together.
Probably.
In his dreams.
I was laying my head on his lap.
That one was the best shark movie since Jaws.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm
I'm
pretty
sure.
sure
I'm
that
sure Rick
Those are the
Myers
people I
like
don't
that as
talk
well.
to because they clearly have no brain.
Yeah, but Rick Myers enjoyed it because it was a thinking movie.
He
According to Rick
enjoys it,
Myers.
but if I had to really press him, he's not going to say it's better than Jaws.
Oh no,
Actually,
no way.
Kevin and I reviewed Orca.
Part of cinematic synergy because I hadn't seen it. It was a real fun movie. Of course, other creature features. We've got
Sci-fi.
arachnophobia. Yes, we're coming up soon to the end, but we're going to be rating and putting these in order. So I guess we'll start with Mr. DJ Anubis.
All right. Let's have
Or
some
should
fun.
I keep you last? Is it going to be?
No, you're
Should I
good.
keep
You're
you
good.
last?
This will be quick. This will be quick. At number 4, Crawl, 3 out of 10. At number
Bullshit.
3, The Mutation, 4 out of 10. At number 2, the original Alligator, 6 out of 10. And at number 1, Lake Placid is without a doubt a 10 out of 10 perfect movie. Boom. In stream.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
I'm done.
So, Anthony Jordan.
last place, Alligator II 4.5 out of 10.
Traitor.
Good. If that was not on your if that was not last on your list, you would be bored.
Kroll 7.5 out of 10. Alligator 9.5 out of 10, and Lake Placid 10 out of 10.
Okay, he's redeemed himself. He's good.
Mr. Tony the Dead.
Alligator 2, 5 out of 10. Then
You can stay.
I'm only saying Alligator next because I don't remember much, but what I saw I liked. So I'm just gonna say like a 6, but like I have to rewatch it. So it's a 6 for now. Then after that would it be Crawl. I feel like I could have watched it on my own and enjoyed it. Maybe not as much, but I still liked it. But I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. And again, like Placid, 10 out of 10. I enjoyed watching that so much today.
I heart you. I heart you.
Well, that now they do like one of these. They do like
Oh, is it that now?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't keep up with all that anymore.
No, I don't either. But Jane Fonda, or Jane Fonda, Bridget. What the hell's her name? What's her name?
Bridget. It's Bridget.
Fonda. Yeah, like she kept getting heads thrown at her. It was hilarious. And
I keep getting hit with heads.
I pulled it in. You threw it at me. Why is everyone throwing heads at me? It was like,
she's always slapping them.
Yeah. The mixture of humor and it was just such a fun watch. So yeah, 10 out of 10. If I can go higher, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's down to Kevon.
Kevon.
Of course, I have to have Alligator 2, the film that put me to sleep. That gets a lonely 4 out of 10. It is absolutely diabolical.
Well, at least we scored that one.
Next, I have to be on it. It'll be the first Alligator. The next, it would be this one, which is Alligator, which I really love it. I love the setting. I like, it's a bit dated now, but I can watch this over and over because it reminds me of my childhood. I'm going to give that a fair 7 out of 10. And now for me, I'm at number 2. You love it, I love it, but I like the more serious. I did love the comedy, but crocodile alligator movies. So even though it's a fun movie, I'm afraid Lake Placid is number 2 for me, but I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. And of course, number 1 get a 10 out of 10 because I went to theatre to see this and it was just a blast. It's The Crawl. That scene alone, I fucking love it. Off with your head. So that is my ratings. So before we wrap things up, I just want to mention a couple of things that are coming to the next Into the Darkness. I do believe our next franchise discussion is going to be the Baskethead series. There's 3 movies. I'm going to have a blast doing that. But then I do have a couple of specials coming up. Now, the first special, which I can't remember if I picked a date yet for it or not, it's going to be Anthony Jordan's birthday special, which is going to be the Tremor series, films 1 to 4, which I know he's a fan of the Tremors, and so that's his birthday special. So I'm looking forward to that one for Anthony Jordan, and we do have another special on its way, and I'm just waiting to confirm his schedule when he's available, because we will be joined by that fat samurai guy when we'll be reviewing Demons 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
So them 2 are really great films. So that's just a couple of things to look forward to on the entertainment headquarters in the future, which I'm really looking forward to those movies. But as always, gentlemen, it has been a blast doing this with you guys. I love our Into the Darkness segments. I love all the guys. Sci-Fi who's watching, Jedi Granville, Mr. Ulven, we will get you on the channel soon enough. I've got some ideas cropping up in my brain as I speak. So Mr. DJ Anubis, what is coming up on the Metal Tavern Radio channel?
So tonight won't be on my channel, but it'll be on Olvin's channel. So he's my co-host for the Silver Screen Savants. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a review of The Mask of Zorro. And then tomorrow,
is that live?
It will be live. Yep. Walter Jedi Grand Vale will be with us on that as well. I tried to reach out to Anthony, but he was ignoring me, so I don't know if he's going to be in that or not.
I didn't get to watch. Like, I've had a lot of thinking to do.
That's fine. I'm just giving you a hard time. Tomorrow, Mr. Kevin Lambert and I are going to be doing the Cinematic Synergy, in which it's his pick for Dante's Peak. So we'll be checking that out. And going into next week, The Ghouls of Midnight with Mr. Tony down below. We'll be doing Nothing But Trouble. I have actually only seen parts of that movie, so I haven't really seen all of it. But everyone ever said it was pretty good. So we'll be doing that for Ghouls of Midnight. Also that day, my Kaiju Spotlight series will continue with Olvin as we do King Kong. And then towards the end of the week, I'll be joining Kevin again for the Retro Movie Show. And we'll be doing Point Break, my pick. And then to close out the week, my pick for Silver Screen Savants is Escape from New York.
Nice.
Ooh, I love that movie as well. But there you go. You've heard it from Mr. DJ Anubis, and now we'll go to Mr. Anthony Jordan. What's coming to your channel?
Got my Godzilla's Revenge review to upload. I want to watch and work on the review for Godzilla versus Hedorah this week, and my initial thoughts for Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, which I'm having an absolute blast with.
Is that the zombie karaoke?
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's one of the costumes you can put on Majima where he dresses like a zombie, then you can sing karaoke.
I was wondering what the hell that was from.
Mr. Anthony Jordan, I've already done him. Mr. Tony of the Dead, what's coming up on your channel?
Already done him, that's what she said. Well, just ghouls. I just uploaded my unboxing of Vinegar Syndrome, so that's on there. And then on the 7th is Point Break. That's still going on?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So got that. And then, other things this month. I'm not going to be on the basket case one because that's when Shayna's she's going in for surgery. Nothing major, but I got to take care of her when she gets home. So I'll be watching
That's
that
what
night.
A good husband does.
Yep.
That's what a good husband does.
Yeah, other than that, just nothing planned, really. Just ghouls. Ghouls and you fools.
Joining us on Thursday the 13th for Ghidorah, the three-headed monster.
The week of the 13th on the second channel. Olvin.
I did want to say on March 21st, I'll be doing a live event a couple days before my birthday. I'm doing a versus between Tales of Halloween versus Trick or Treat 2007. So these guys are all going to be a part of that show. I've got Fat Samurai Guy. Olvin's going to be there. I'm trying to get Rob from ETN as well.
Are we going to watch
Yes, we will. I actually I put it out in my my little unboxing today. I've got both. So if I need to rip them on and we'll watch party, we can do that. No problem.
Yeah, I think I've got Trick or Treat on Blu-ray, but the other one's on Tubi. But if you're going to do a watch,
Tales of Power Rangers on Tubi. Yep.
The pumpkin.
Yes.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, cool. Well, I've just pointed out. Century says he'll be down for Point Break.
Hey, I have him on. Sure.
Yeah. If you're free, let's do it. As for me in the entertainment headquarters, after I do Dante's Peak for Cinematic Synergy, I'm going to be taking a couple of days off from doing stuff on YouTube land. I just feel I need that little bit of a break. So I'm going to have some days off. But
I did one
go
more
on.
thing. I just want to say, because following the cinematic for yours, I did like a small little poll for the next one from my pick, and it turned out to be Highlander.
Ooh.
So that's what we're doing for Cinematic Synergy next.
Oh,
There can only be
that'll be
one.
awesome.
Love that
There can
movie.
only be one. Yes, but as I say, I'm taking a bit of a break. Gonna have a 4 days off. So the next time we do anything on the entertainment headquarters, it will be the Retro Classic Movie Show, which will be, of course, Point Break. But I did do a couple of recordings today. One of them was my review for Television Chronicles of Cobra Kai Season 6. And also, I managed to sneak in another Television Chronicles today with Mr. Tony the Dead, because we had the pleasure of reviewing Nautilus, which was a fun show.
Yeah, it was.
So I'll be putting them up on the channel real soon. But as always, everybody who's tuned in today, thank you so much. None of us could do this without the people that watch, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It's been a blast. And of course, to me, amazing guests. The entertainment headquarters isn't anything without you guys. So please like, share, and subscribe to the Metal Tavern Radio, to Anthony Jordan's Movies and Gaming, and of course, Mr. Tony the Dead. And just if you want to, please also like, share, and subscribe to the entertainment headquarters. But as always,
The king.
well, I've learned from the best, and that's all of these guys, yeah. As always, we'll be taking you again through a walk into the darkness real soon. Take care, everybody.